How goes it, one and all? I'm here to try and once again to get more done with this. You can see I'm making progress. I've got the base play type showing. I've got the pass run. I have to figure out some things graphically speaking. That is to say, all of my stuff looks the same, even my headers and my buttons. So that's not great. I'm right now. I'm just getting functionality to work. I'm kind of lacking on a couple of things. It's getting close. I mean, I can do a couple of the items I want to do, but we do have a few items that are a little off, and I'm not exactly sure how to do some of these. Some of these are actually kind of probably should be easy, but yeah, I don't know the exact way to do it, and I am being lazy and using AI to help me do a couple of these minor things. For example, I'm not sure exactly how to set this drop down to the index. I think I don't know. I think I can just set it. I can set this value. Oh, let me see. Maybe it's probably setting it somewhere, huh? I could probably do it if I just find where it's setting it. So it's not null. Oh, set to value. Value is 0. Is value 0? Oh, that's clearing it. But what if I want to... Do I even have a clear selections? I don't even know. I don't know when that gets called. RB countdown. What else we got here? On value changed. That's setting up the listener to tell me. All right, here we go. So it is. The value must be the index. So 0. I don't want it to be 0. I think what I want to do is change this to because we're adding. Oh, I don't need this anymore. I decided to simplify how I was doing stuff. I did, man. Did you? I assume you did as well. It was a good game until your petty self. Why? Because your San Francisco 49ers didn't make it. It was a good game until the fourth quarter. Hey, my Broncos didn't make it. I was pretty salty about that whole bunch of bogus nonsense. There's just Bo Nix getting hurt, and then just the stupid. I mean, Denver's defense pretty much held them to 3 points the entire game, except for that stupid turnover on our fill-in quarterback, who fills in and throws an interception on the 10-yard line. It's a little hard to expect your defense to stop 9 yards of gain. Jeez. That was their only score in the game of any significance, was that 7-yard touchdown or 9-yard touchdown, whatever the heck it was. That was dumb. I mean, I get he was trying to get rid of it, but he needs to try a little harder on making the ball go forward. Yeah, I definitely was a little salty about that myself. Super Bowl was a good game, though, up until, like I said, about halfway through the third quarter, and then things just kind of fell apart for the Patriots. I would say it was a good game. It was a close game. It was very defensive. Patriots are bad. Actually, both teams' defenses were really good. They were wreaking havoc in the backfield of the opposing quarterback. It's just that Seattle's quarterback didn't look like he was getting flustered, and Drake May he was out of his depth. I mean, if you think about it, with the exception of that one touchdown that they got against Denver, that was a 9-yard gain. The Patriots hadn't scored a touchdown for like 7 straight quarters because they hadn't scored a touchdown since they played against the Texans. It was a long time to go without scoring a touchdown. But yeah, definitely could have been better. Wow. Well, what was that? Did you see? There was one commercial that they had for Bitcoin. Or it wasn't Bitcoin. It was one of the other coin things. It wasn't Bitcoin, but it was one of those kind of services. And all it was a sing-along text. I mean, it looked like something a high school kid who had Photoshop, or not even Photoshop, could have done. It was just literally just text on a screen for 30 seconds that was basically singing to a song. It was the words to a song, and then at the end it said Coinbase or something like that. And we were like, "What is this?" Just 30 seconds of singing. This guy paid $8 million, or whoever it was paid $8 million to put the words to a song on the screen for like sing along, and then just say the name of the company at the end, all in text on a blue screen. So white text, blue screen. Yeah, it's a little more than a karaoke page. Hold on, I gotta get some water. Coin every day. Well, I live in the Seattle area, so I had friends over to watch the game, and they were, of course, all Seahawk fans. So I guess they were happy that their team held on to win. So I was just watching the game. It was a good game, so for the most part. What does this do? Refresh shown value. So they set the index, and then is this actually a built-in, or is that a... Oh, wow. Nope. That's actually a... Huh. Nope, that's actually a built-in feature. Okay. So I need these two guys. And then I need to go back to... Yeah, excellent. On RB change. Okay, this is the one I want. So we want to go here. And instead of doing that, what happens if I do this? And it's RB. Oh, I need to type it in, I guess. What you been up to anyway, Chun? I haven't seen you in a short time, couple weeks. Keeping busy? Hey, by the way, in case you haven't heard, escapade of sorts. A passport brother escapade. Passport brother escapade. What is that? Been traveling? Is that what you're saying? You've been getting some time away? I got myself certified. I'm a certified personal assistant now. Oh, really? Non-American, like not from the U.S. I mean, like not living in the U.S. Personal trainer, like a Pete, like so. Oh wow. Yeah. Now I don't know if you know this, but I work. You know, I've mentioned, but yeah. Well, not personal, not physical therapy. I mean, I guess kind of, sort of, but not no, not a physical therapist. Like personal trainer, like someone who one of those people at the gym that shows people how to work out, what exercises to do, how to get in shape, how to do that kind of personal trainer. You know, I work out 6 days a week. I pretty much I can't remember the last week in my life that I ever went a full week without working out. I've I've uh, I've run like 20 plus half marathons, probably six full marathons, maybe five. I don't know, five or six. I don't remember, but I've done. You know, I played tons of sports. I played pretty much everything. I was uh, I was a scratch bowler, tennis. I played tennis and basketball and pickleball and football, and I've done all of those things. And so it's one of those things it was suggested to me that says, "Hey, you know, you should be a personal trainer." And my dad goes, "If you want to do that, I'll pay for your class," because they're like, it was, you know, it's a little expensive. And I thought, okay, sure, that sounded good to me. I'll give it a go. And so he paid for the class because, you know, I'm an out of work broke person. And it's supposed to be like a 4 to 6 month course, but you can do it at your own pace. So I just crammed, and it took me like 6 weeks, so a month and a half. I knew a lot of it, but I didn't know it had a lot of really dry reading. I mean, the textbook you have to go through is like 1,000 pages or something like that, and it's a lot of chapters of 200 and something pages of just mind-numbing stuff. But some of it was really interesting. That was useful. Some of it was actually useful to being a personal trainer. Some of it was just like stuff you'd only want to learn if you're going to medical school. It's like, what do I need to know this stuff for? I understand like needing to know, you know, muscles and ligaments and how they interact, and what muscles do what and how they work and all that kind of stuff. That's all very important. But there's some low level stuff they got into, and I was like, what does this have to do with personal training? Getting old. When you could tell the weather with your legs, with the pain in your knees. That's I guess that's a classic symptom of of age, huh? Since June, wow, that's a long, yeah, probably lost, depending on how long you were in. But yeah, did you know? I mean, I kind of knew this already, but 3 days after stopping working out is when muscles can begin atrophying. Now, it's nothing like you lose everything you gained, but it's like you're no. It's kind of like you work out, you're kind of going up, and then after 3 days, you're no longer improving anymore, and there might be a slight degrade. It starts becoming noticeable in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. When you start noticing the degrade, and then I don't know what the time frame is for like complete loss of gains or whatever, but it's 2 to 3 weeks. You can start seeing back. You'll start noticing your downward directions. So, yeah, you got to stick with it. It has a lot to do with what you do, right? I mean, the more peak physically capable you are, the more you'll notice the drop offs. Skinnylicious. That's an interesting term. Skinnylicious. I don't know if I need this, because if I trigger the change, I might not need that. Let's see if I'm right. If that does, I should first break into the on TV change here. And if that's the case, I don't actually need this. Let's see if I'm right. Because if that is the case, I can go here. And there should be a 1 as well. We'll go ahead and put the break here. No, I should put it right here. So I tried out for a play, auditioned for a play on Saturday, the Shawshank Redemption. And there was 2 parts I was going to try out for. The Star, which probably everybody did, and then Brooks. Now, if you've ever seen the Shawshank Redemption, Andy is the main character, and Red is like the secondary, and Brooks is like a main character, but he's the old guy in the story. And I was like, I hope they tell me I don't fit that part. The first thing I want to do is go in and they'd go, hey, you'd be perfect for Brooks. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anybody tell me I'd be good for Brooks. But I mean, I thought I liked the character. That's the only reason I said I would try it. I mean, you could always do the makeup and try to make yourself look older. But I didn't want to do that really either. It might have been interesting to see how if I could do that. But then they said there's this character that I had never even heard of, who's not in the movies, but apparently he is a recurring character, I guess, in the book or something. And he goes goes by the name of Rico. And they told me about him. I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be a really good part. I'd really like to do that part. But alas, I didn't try out for that part. And they thought I'd be an okay fit for that. So I guess we'll see. They didn't offer me the part or anything. They just said I'd be a better fit for that. Yes. Auditions were this weekend, and I just went this weekend. So it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I went Saturday. So, but they did have me do a little reading for him, but the reading for him was only a couple of lines, and they were just trying to see if I could emote, be louder. And I could. So they said, yeah, no, that's fine as far as that. But I couldn't actually read the character the way I wanted to, the way I would have had I known I was auditioning for it. Because I learned what he was, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I would have done him different. Just because I know more about him now, because I looked him up after I got home, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, this guy's kind of cool. He's a born-again prisoner. I mean, he was a murderer. Most people in the movie are. But he was born again, and he was trying to live a better life, even though he's in prison, he's not going anywhere. But he just was, and he was a bigger guy, or he tends to be just a more fit, bigger character, and so they thought I'd be a pretty decent fit for him. I don't know, and I thought, and then I liked his personality description. That's why I thought it'd be good. But oh well, it's not that I don't have a chance. But the thing is, this play, unlike the other three I did, is a much it's an all adult play. There's no real teenagers in this play. This is all adult men who are playing for this. So I have a lot more competition in that sense. So I don't think it's going to be as easy, because the other plays I had tried out for, considering they're the only 3 plays I ever did, the first time I did it, I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. I've never acted in my life. I know nothing about acting. It's nothing. I'm going to go in here. But I just relied on, my ability to talk out, because, I've been streaming and I've gotten used to just talking to people or just talking out and not worrying about my surroundings as much. I don't have that impressed. Because when I first started streaming, I was real quiet. I barely talked. I didn't talk unless someone was talking to me. But I kept trying to push myself out of that, because they say in order to be a decent streamer, you have to be able to talk even when nobody's there. So you get used to doing that. You train yourself. You get used to it. So then when there are people there, it's easier to talk, because you're just talking to whomever. You do it. So I did pretty good, and I got it into the first play I tried. But I tried for a very small piece, because I didn't know how good I'd be. And but then the second play they did, they were doing the House on Haunted Hill. That's a Vincent Price movie from the 50s or whatever. And I was like, oh, I want to do Vincent Price's part. I really want Vincent Price's part. And so I tried out for his part, and I got the part. I got to be the lead in this play. So that was really cool. But again, it's a smaller studio. A lot of the people, not everybody, but a lot of them were teenagers. And I only had competition at my age group from 2 to 3 people. And honestly, with the exception of a couple of these girls, are really good at acting. I thought they were very good, considering they were only in their early 20s or whatever. But most of these kids were, I wasn't worried. I could outact them. But a couple of these adult guys were pretty good. But I got the part. And then I just did Romeo and Juliet, and I got the part I tried out for there too. So that was nice. But again, small studio, not a lot of competition. This audition, 3 nights of auditions, they only ever had 1 night of auditioning. And it was only like maybe 3 hours worth of auditions. This thing here has 3 nights of auditions, and they're auditioning for like 4 hours a day. And so it's a lot more slots, a lot more competition. Considering, I think they said there's only like maybe 15 people in the cast. So I'm probably competing against. Actually, I think they might have actually been doing auditions a lot longer than that. Now that I think about it, what the clock looked like. But I think there's probably going to be 50 or 60 people because they were pretty full on the auditions when I signed up. Well, Los Angeles is the place if you're really trying to get into acting as an actual thing. Um, I do it kind of as a hobby. I have never been paid yet. So I haven't had to pay. You know, that's the thing. It's legit when you don't have to pay to be in it. So that's good. I haven't had to pay for them yet. But I have been eyeing a couple that pay. Yeah, there are some that pay, but you have to get, well, I don't say you have to get good enough. You have to get good enough, but I mean, I've never tried for one that's pay yet. I would love to try and just get paid, just to see what it's like to get paid for a acting position gig. But those ones even have more competition, and that's when you're going to get competition from people who actually are really good at acting, or within reason. I mean, there's some people who, you know, who ride by on their looks or whatever, can't act, but they fit all the parts. Um, but I'm not one of those. As much as I like to talk a good game about being irresistible, there's just no way they wouldn't want my smooth see, I don't even know what it is. My was it dulcet tones acting for them in their play. I don't see how they would want to pass up on my skill set and my chiseled bone line and muscular physique. Can't even say it with a straight face, man. That's like, oh well. So yeah, I have to learn how to actually act. So it's entertaining though. It's fun to get out there and do that stuff. The only reason I did it to begin with is because I thought I could do that. I'm gonna try it. So I looked it up and went and tried it. And I've been doing it now for a little over a year. I'm just trying to get into my first fully 100% adult play, and adult like everybody's older, not like adult like R-rated. Actually, there might be language in it. It is Shawshank Redemption, but and there's some scenes in it that I'm not terribly fond of. I'm glad I told him I didn't want anything to do with those scenes. He says, "Yeah, not interested, thanks." And he goes, "Well, I try to tell people that it's not you doing it, it's your character." And I'm like, "That's fine, but my character is not going to do it because I'm not going to have that character." It's like, I could see it being somebody who's got an eye towards bigger things. They want to act, they want to be acting as a career, kind of thing. They want to get these experience in, and they want to try everything, and they want to show that they can do these things and start getting the experience. But doing it as a hobby, I'm like, I only want to do the stuff I want to do. If I don't fit a part, then let someone else have it, man. If I can't have the parts I want, then I have no reason to want to do that. Anyway, so let's see here. We got here. Dang it! Didn't work. I think I need to, I'm going to put something in here. Let's go, can you set the RB count? What is it, panel? No, drop down. Drop down. And the tight end count drop down to equal any if either if any is selected from the other. Also when any is selected, the wide receiver count dash TMP should also become wide receiver count. So that was kind of interesting. So when I selected that, I didn't hit either break. Oh, because I didn't attach. I should probably attach. It's really hard to get my code to break if I don't attach. I mean, it didn't do what I wanted to, which is a thing, but I might be able to trace it if I let it, if I hook it up. I'm not sure about doing Shakespeare though. I did 2 Shakespeare plays. Shakespeare doesn't have any leeway. You kind of have to. I mean, there's no ad lib. There's no. You can't even really do your own thing, personality with it, right? I mean, you can't even add an accent really because it just has this definition. It's almost like it has its own accent just by being Shakespeare. And it's a very rigid style of acting, and I don't know if I like it. Not to mention the language is really awkward. All right, let's see if that works. Yeah, but you don't have to an ad-libbed modernization of Romeo and Juliet. Well, I doubt it's ad-libbed, but it is definitely a modernized or a different interpretation of Romeo and Juliet. I get that. But isn't it musical? See, that's the thing. I haven't done a musical yet. And a lot of plays are musical. In fact, this character that he asked me about, he goes, "Can you sing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can sing, but I've never sang for like acting singing. I can sing if there's music and I'm doing it like karaoke." But so then I went home and I started singing to myself to see, because there's a point in the play, he said that he starts singing a hymn and everybody joins in. So I go home and I start singing to myself just to see if I could come up with a hymn or something. I start, "Amazing Grace." So I started singing see if I could do it. I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I could sing that one. But of course I didn't do that there because when he put me on the spot, and I'm like, I could have done it if I'd have known what I was singing, what I was going to try. So like, yeah, I could probably sing a song that I feel comfortable with. So that's why I said I wish I could have went back and tried again. I should write them because they haven't done callbacks yet. Supposedly sometime this week, maybe. I should write them and go, you know, we talked about this Rico character, and I think I can do him, and I'd really like to have another shot. So, if, you know, just in case you were, you know, still undecided on who you were going to have come back for a callback, because I should write them and see if I can still squeeze in. I don't know if I even have any way to contact them, because I don't even know if the audition thing is still up. But if there's any kind of a email or something, I should probably write them and go, hey, what do you think? They let me come back for a callback, and because next week they're supposed to do the read through. What happened? Did we start it? No, we didn't start it. So, when you said you were doing a passport bro, does that mean you? Like you were being the passport bro, or you just knew someone who was and you were like helping them out? I had never heard that term, but I've heard of the fact that that's becoming pretty popular these days, because women in the U.S. are, no offense to all of the, oh, it was definitely you, huh? Well, that's not. I mean, it's becoming to that point. Women in the U.S. are, they play so hard to get. Nobody's bothering. Guys are like, forget you, man. It's too much work. The standards are crazy. It's like, who do these women think they are? It's like all the women in the U.S. think, apparently, are starting to think that they are all tens, and they figure they only need to get tens. It's like those few 10 guys, those guys out there that you call tens, most of you don't qualify on their list either. That's not how it works. There's just a little unevenness there. So all these guys are just saying, "Screw you! I'm just gonna go find someone who just wants to be, who wants to be with somebody, who wants to just, who don't have these weird American woman criteria that they have." I get it. Lucky for me, I've already got me a good woman, so I don't have to. I don't have to worry about that right now. That's the one thing I've definitely, thank God for. I don't have to get into that game. As long as I don't mess it up. Hopefully I won't. And I feel for all you guys out there still trying to find your match. That's for sure. Hey, that worked. It did it. Woohoo! All right, let's see if this works when I go the other way. Woohoo! Hey, it's working! Yay! Finally got it to do its thing. So we're almost, I think I'm almost ready to call the Playtype set. Now, assuming, of course, it does the next step correctly, which is to say it needs to be able to display. So I think, oops. So if I go, I want to do, let's see, wait, I want to do a 1, we'll do a 12 personnel. All right, so we're going to hit cancel. So I need to go in here, and I think I need to change slightly That's inside, right? Select play down cancel. So that's not where the buttons are? The buttons are out here? What? I think I'm going to adjust that. So what that means is I can simplify. If I were to go to this guy, no, this guy, yeah. So this doesn't have to be a 0.1, this can be a 0. And this can be a 0. Then we go up to here, and this should be a 0.1. Nope, too small. Point 2, 0.3. Oh no, that's a big difference there. 0.2. Nope. 2.5. Nope, wrong way. 1.5. I need to be able to put something underneath that, so it's going to have to be like a 1.8. Yeah, we'll go with 1.8. Oops. Do I want to do 1.8? It might need to be more. And then this guy on the top, .8. Nope, too much. 0.9. Nope. 0.9. 2. 4. All right, let's try 4. All right, there you go. I am still, no, I'm not still going, Mr. Bot. I just came back. I signed off shortly after you. I think you were here when I had to go run an errand. I had to go drop off my car when you signed off. So I left probably about 20 minutes after you did. And then I just got back on. Well, 44 minutes ago. But man, dude, I'm working on this thing all the time. Even when I'm not streaming, I'm often working on this. Except for when I sit down and watch some TV with my wife or something. But beyond that, I'm on this all the time. It's never going to get done if I don't work on it. Got to keep plugging away. And my offline time is my productive time. I actually get way more done when I'm being offline. I get kind of chatty Cathy when I'm when I'm talking to people on offline. UI TMP. I say offline? Online, I mean. Selected. Playtype. Here and where do I want to put that though? I kind of thought I wanted to put it here, but there's no interior here. That's kind of a problem. Yeah, I'm going to try something. This may be weird, but I'm going to try this. But that means, in order for this to work, he's going to be a stretch bottom. So we'll go 0, 0, and so 60 will probably work. And we'll go 80, and then we'll say, but we'll say 0, which will put it there, and then we got to go another negative 40. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll go down here, and we'll go text apply. We're going to go ahead and call this one a title. But it needs to be in the center of my screen. There we go. It was a good day. A very good day. You know, I'm having a thing with my car. Well, I have a pretty nice, decently nice condition car, 92 Toyota Celica, and but this last month has not been its best month. A couple of things. My odometer stopped working back in December, and the speedometer and odometer, because you know they're in the same part of the thing. And then my brake cable went out. Not my brake emergency brake cable, not the actual brake, the emergency brake cable. And it's a manual drive. So I was like, you know, I don't know how to turn off my car without the emergency brake. Over the years, I've just gotten so used to putting it in neutral and pulling the emergency brake and turning it off, which always worked great. It's been the thing I've done for however long I've had this car. But when you don't have an emergency brake, you can't just, if you put it in neutral, your car rolls away. So first thing I had to do is try to get myself out of the habit of putting it in neutral. And then I had to start thinking, okay, well, it's in gear. So that means now I have to consciously think about letting go of the clutch. I have to turn it off before I let go of the clutch. Because if I let go of the clutch before I turn it off, the car jerks and shuts off on its own. So, yeah, I had to teach myself for like a week because they didn't have a brake cable. They had to order one, and of course it took days to get it. When your car is 30 some years old, starts to get hard to find parts. So when I take it in, they have to order parts from other parts of the country a lot of times, and it takes days to get it. I'm just glad they're able to find parts, but there's sometimes those like minor parts they haven't been able to find. So there's certain things on there I can't even fix right now. So that sucks. But right now it's enough that I can keep it running. But anyway, so yeah, I had to deal with that. And then the heat went off. They in order to fix the odometer and the speedometer, they had to put this cable in for the speedometer. And but it was near I don't know, a heating element or heating core or heating something to deal with the heating. And so but it was going out. So they go, well, we're going to, we don't want to mess that up. We don't want to break it because it's getting bad. So we're going to replace that piece. And they didn't charge me for it, but they're going to replace that piece. So they had to order that. So what happened was when they fixed the odometer and stuff, they fixed that piece, but then the switch wouldn't turn all the way. It was like, it was only half working, like, you know, cold and hot. And it would only go to midway. So sometimes when it was getting kind of warmer outside, it would be blowing heat. I couldn't turn it down. So I told him, you know, the knob's not working. You need to, you know, fix it. So I took it in, and he goes, you know, I was able to work it. We did some stuff and we were able to get it to go, but it was kind of iffy when I got it back. But I also have my dome light has had a problem with the door, and it's a door switch for that. And they found one. I've asked them before, they couldn't find one, but they found the door switch for my dome light. So now it'll work supposedly. I'm getting my car back in it, hopefully in the next couple of days. But so I said, all right, fine. I'll bring it back in. Because what happened was, even though they kind of sort of got the knob fixed, my heat was dead. I had no heat. It's cold these days. I can't drive my car around because I'm just like, if I turn it on, it just blows cold air. It's like, that's not cool. It's like, I have to keep all bundled up. I can't, it's just driving my car when it's cold. It's like, that's not good at all. So I have to take it back in. So I took it back in today. That's what I did. So long story short, part of my day was dropping my car off. That's he goes, how was your day? Woof. You're probably thinking, dude, it was just a casual statement. I didn't really want to know. That's classic. It's like, I was just kidding. I didn't really want to know what your day was like. It's like, this is painful. I shouldn't have asked. Don't. That'll teach me. Yeah, see, yours is an '04 Chevy Avalanche. My car is 12 years older than that. So, but the thing is for you, the Chevy Avalanche has had multiple years since '04. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything, but it does mean that there are probably a few years where some of the parts are a little bit more widespread. The compatible versions of the Celica, for my car, I have a GT, which, by the way, is actually kind of a rare version of the Celica because they didn't make a whole lot of GT versions of the Celica. I think they only did a few years. Most of theirs are, the hatchbacks or I guess they're called hatchbacks, yeah. So most Celicas are not even GTs like mine. And so finding parts is a little bit more rare. They only had a couple of years that were fully compatible with parts. There's some, like the doors and stuff like that, are kind of similar. 350Z. My first car was a 280ZX. The first car I actually owned was a 280ZX. I owned it for like an hour. It might have been an hour and a half. I don't know. I think I'll just leave that one out there and just let you go, what? Yeah. I was a teenager. It was the first car I bought. It was I paid $3,000 for it. And my dad was with me, helped me find it. This was a nice car. It was really cool. Two-tone blue. It was nice. So we took it home. And it was the homecoming football game that night. And my dad told me, you shouldn't take it. You go ahead and take, use the truck. I'd been using his Datsun, his old beat up Datsun truck. He said, use the Datsun truck because the insurance won't kick in until Monday. Oh no, not me. I said, I'll be fine. I'm just taking it to the game and back, and I don't party and drink and all that stuff. Well, at least, I guess I did, but I didn't do it to the extent. I wasn't drinking that night. Let's put it that way. I went out with friends every now and then. We'd go someplace and hang out. We were a pretty responsible bunch. But I said, I was just going to go to the game. And he said, all right, go ahead. Just be careful. So off I go. And this car is it was weird because, if you know the shape of the old Datsuns, the old 280ZXs, it might have actually been Nissan. I don't remember if it was a Nissan yet when they switched from Datsun to Nissan. But their noses are really long. And they handle a little different. It's an unusual thing. And it was raining. And I lost control of the car. I tell people to this day I wasn't speeding. I was speeding, but I wasn't speeding. Like I was 5 miles over the speed limit. It was a 45. I was going about 45 in the 40 because I distinctly remember looking at my speedometer. I was going about 45 and a 40, and it wasn't, it's not significant. But I was a teenager, so who knows? Maybe I just don't drive very well, which is possible. And I lost control of the car. I do remember kind of briefly getting control of it, but I was going around a turn, and I got control on the side, and I didn't realize that the road had turned because I was kind of half panicking, right? Whoosh, right off into a ravine, and down into a little, I want to say stream, little river bend thing. It was a good 20 feet. And there's a brick or cement, I don't know, wall. It was only like, if I remember, it was maybe 2 feet high, a little cement wall, but it was thick, heavy duty cement wall, meant to kind of stop a car from falling into the ravine. But I went at it like it's going around the corner, and I went like right here, and the wall hit the side of my car, and I blacked out for a minute. I don't know how long I was blacked out, but when I woke up, I could smell gas. And I'm like sitting there in my car. It's pitch dark. My seats are folded inward. I'm like, the driver's side and the passenger side are leaning in on each other. I could smell gas. The collar of my shirt, I was wearing a shirt with a collar, was pinned. It was trapped on something. I remember being stuck, and I couldn't get up, and I smelled gas. And I'm like, all I need now is to blow up. That's what I did. It went through my mind. I was going to blow up. I've seen enough movies, gas plus crash car, kaboom, I'm like, that's all I need is a blow up now. So I yanked myself out, and I don't know what, but I tore the collar off my shirt. I basically got up with enough force. I pulled the collar off my shirt. Got out of the car by pushing it open with my foot because the door was, the car's mangled. So I push it open with my foot. I step into the creek or the water or whatever the heck it was. I don't know, ankle deep. And I just kind of walked around the car. And some guy's at the top of the ravine, and he's calling down to me. He says, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm fine." And he goes, "I heard this bang, and I came out here." I was like, how long was I down there? I mean, somebody was able to hear it, and then they came out here, and they're here in the time that I just got out of my car. So I don't know. How long was I down in the creek? And so I climbed out. I had to climb up this ravine. I mean, it wasn't a small ravine. It was, like I said, easily 20 feet. So I climbed up, and the guy kind of, I don't know what he said. I called 911 or something. I just lied down on the ground there. Next thing I know, there's ambulances all around me and fire truck and whatever the heck. So apparently I passed out again because I don't remember them showing up. I was just lying on the ground. And the medic or whatever is checking me out. They got a couple people looking at me to see if I'm all right, and they're checking my eyes and everything. And the first thing I say, I go, "Is my car going to be all right?" They looked at me and goes, "You're lucky you're all right. We're surprised you survived that crash." And I'm like, "What? What?" It's like, so my car's not okay. Oh, yeah. That was an evening. And it took me 5 years at least to pay my dad back for the car because he had paid for it. He had paid for it, and I was supposed to pay him back. So it took me 5 years to pay off a car I didn't even have. I think I had already got another car with that I had bought with my own money by the time I paid him off. It took me a long time. But yeah, there you go. Nobody ever saw my car. Well, the only people who ever saw my car saw it with me at the what do you call it? The wrecking lot, the car lot or whatever they dragged it off to. They had to tow it in two pieces. When it hit the side of the cement wall, the back was torn off. I mean, it was basically torn away from the car. And when I went to the the car lot or the I don't know, the dump or whatever the heck they had these cars at. There was a bunch of them. Well, you know, other cars that were destroyed. They literally had my car sitting there with 2 pieces of car. And I'm like, this is in pretty bad shape. And they're like, yeah. And I talked to the guy who I guess towed it or whatever. Somebody there said they said they were told that the person driving the car survived the car, and he's like, what, really? Everybody's like surprised I survived the crash. And I didn't really have significant injuries. I had cracked ribs and a lot of cuts. I had cuts on my legs and my head and a lot of, you know, small stuff. But I had cracked ribs, which was probably the worst part of it, because for like 6 months I couldn't breathe. And then I tried to do track, and I was like, that was fun, trying to run track with minimal lung capacity, because I couldn't take a deep breath all the way. That was painful. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the live and learn of a life. Get this, in the emergency room, I'm being worked on. All these nurses and doctors are all around me. A cop comes in to the emergency room while they're working on me, trying to clean up all the blood and junk off my body. And I'm delirious, but the cop's asking me questions. And by the time he's done, he writes me a ticket and gives me a ticket in the emergency room. Actually, it was a woman. It was a woman cop. And I'm like, seriously, you're going to give me a ticket in the emergency room? You can't even wait until I'm like out of here. They're working on me. It's like, wow, you're hardcore, man. It's like, and they didn't give me a ticket for speeding. They gave me a ticket for what they call it. I didn't even know this was a thing. Driving too fast for the weather conditions. That was the ticket. Driving too fast for the weather conditions. I'd never heard of that kind of ticket before. All right, so if I do that, it's gonna be, oh, let's see how this looks when I do this thing here. Kind of, sort of, in a way works. Sure. It's a little crowded at the top there, though. My buttons are kind of overlapping my text. I wonder if I should do like a vertical. Yeah, that might be tough. I may have to do something else. How do I do that? I'd have to enclose this whole thing. Huh. How would I do that? Is that inside? It's like everything. So everything is that, which means if I did a vertical space, these guys would be split. Darn it. Means I'd have to put them inside of their own. I'd have to put them inside of their own separate thing, and then I can do a vertical spacer, which would probably make everybody look better. Because this whole doing one row at a time isn't working. So we got that. We got that. And then we have these two guys, which would have to be in their own. And then we have that. I do like that I can push that down in between. I'm just trying to figure out how to make this look better. This is really, really kind of squished, and I need it to be consistent so that when I go like this, it still looks good. All right, Cam, are you being lazy that you don't want to do this, or is it just that you're not sure it's the best way? Don't be lazy. Just do it. Just do it. All right, let's just do it. Let's go. Panel again. We'll just call this one the selection panel. Selection. And then that would mean these two guys. Go inside it. And therefore, this guy and then how do I do this one? So this one is that guy, but the child is that guy. That's the whole body. But if I want those to be better spaced, that means everything inside of the body has to be equally considered. So that would mean this needs a vertical add component, vertical layout group. Yeah. We'll say upper center, middle center. All right, and then that means that this guy needs to have a layout item, layout element. And layout element. What do I want to do? Vertical. So we want minimum height on the header is going to be about 100. Preferred height. I'll say 100 also. We'll say 100. And we'll say flexible width, flexible height. That means I have to go back here and say control child width. Ah, there we go. That's kind of important, I guess. And height. Okay, so we're getting close to putting it back together after this little bunch of nonsense. So now we have to go to the bias selection row, which I'd like to be also around 100. So we got to say layout element group, and we'll go minimum height 100. Well, that's pretty big. Is that really that big? Preferred. Say flexible width. Oh, I guess we don't really have to. It did do the thing. Okay, so we got preferred height. We'll say 100. Then we got to do this guy. Also needs a layout element. And we'll say this one needs to have a higher preferred width. We'll say 500. And minimum width 400. And we'll have flexible height. That's it. That's all I need. I just need to fix those three. So they're all on. So the question is, why? Why are we not getting a good measurement here? If I turn this off for a minute, why can't I? Oh, so I gotta turn that off. I gotta get these kind of the right. Apparently I can't force it to be. Such a pain. Alright, so got the header. The header on that should only be like 100. There we go. And then we got height is 100, preferred height is 100, flexible width is fine. Don't really want to have a flexible height. Alright, so we'll go to the bias selection row. Now this one should be like 200. So I want it to be like a button. Let's do 150. Yeah, 150 works. I'll say 150 here. And then we go here. That's not enough. No. No, it's not what I want. Let's go stretch bottom. Do I not have a layout? How come? Oh, because I haven't turned it on yet? Is that what it is? flexible height is on. All right, so now let's turn this back on. Oh, stop it, really? Because I didn't let it adjust its width. Is that how you want to be? Yeah. Great gurgly morgly.
Connected to active A Mind Gamers chat.
Why is this one being a turkey? Because I don't make it, didn't make it big enough? Why do I want to change sizes? I can't get that one to change sizes for whatever reason. Height. This is supposed to be controlling it and resizing, but it's not doing it. It's being a jerk. But why won't it size it? What am I doing wrong? Usually when I change these layout elements, it's supposed to adjust, but it seems to be uninterested in adjusting. Doesn't matter what I set these at, it's trying to make them all the same. It's not supposed to do that. It's being not nice to me. Stop it. Yeah. No. I'm trying to see if there's other things messing with it, but it don't look like there is. Why won't it? Ah. Unity! You're driving me crazy, man. Why won't you do what you're supposed to do? Don't you want to do what you were supposed to do? What is your problem? You're kind of a snot. Is it because, maybe it's because of my custom settings here. No, but that isn't even on that. Oh, I don't have custom on those. Even at min height and preferred height, no flexible width, I have this one set to flexible height, which is correct. It's got the bigger values, minimum and whatever, but it refuses to actually size. And these ones who don't have it, it just doesn't make sense. Height. I mean, whatever, flexible width. So something is just being a jerk here. They all have the layout. Oh, well, for one, that's the wrong thing. Let's put this in as 1,000 here. Oh. Maybe that's what I did wrong. And this one. 800 is probably a bit much. Looks like maybe 600. Hey, I think we're actually getting, I think it actually did it this time. I mean, sorta. These guys are no longer needing to do, these guys can stay at full width now. So 0.5 is the Y. I don't need to do 0.5 as the X anymore. I could do 1. No, the X is sideways. Y is vertical. It's 8, so it's 1 here. And that's this one. All right, I think I may have finally figured it out. We will save the project before it crashes and I lose everything. Let's see if this looks any better. It does-ish. It does-ish look better. I say does-ish because, as you can see, it sized itself off the screen slightly. Which means I probably I made too big of a minimum on this one, I think. I may have to make this a little less than 600. 400. There you go. There you go. Now it seems to be better. Then yeah, just okay. Okay. I need to figure out how to make it fix itself before it displays. But I haven't got that down yet. All right, so now let's do this thing. Alright, so now we got that going. Let's see, I want this guy is selected play type temp. When a base play type is selected, the text should be shown in the selected play type -tmp. And when a personnel personnel option is selected from either the RB count or .end count. Drop down. The combined value of each RB or combined string of each value should be appended with a space to the selected Playtype HTMP. If at any time the RB count or ident count set to 0 or set to any the selected play type option should remove selected play type STP should be updated to show only the base play type selection. I'll see what that does. So once I get play types done, then I have to go in and get the play selection done. Now, the play selection is less things to select. It's really just select a play out of a list that'll be filtered based on your selection so far of your play type. But the display has to show all the potential play options. And I'm thinking I want to require play type to be selected, with plays only being the specific selection. Now you see these little white squares here? These are supposed to be drop down symbols. They're not. It says they're called, it could be anything. I don't have a sprite for it. And I don't even know if I need it, to be honest. I want this to look more like a button. I haven't decided how to accomplish that. I like the effect some games use, where it's basically just like there's a distinct line, like it's a separator line, but it's not an actual line, if you know what I mean. It's like two buttons that are butting up against each other. You could see the crack between two buttons, like in a real world scenario, if you have two things that are buttons and they're just sitting next to each other, and you can see the crack in between. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Something that looks like you can tell it's a separate thing, like a button, but it's not actually got its own image. It's just like the whole thing looks like breaks. A lot of games do stuff like that. The program does it. Some games don't delineate. They'll just do icons. So if you push on an icon. And oftentimes I like going with the icon plan, but the thing is, on this page, I don't think icons really do it justice. Plus, I don't have any good icons yet. I like for pass and run, I could maybe do an icon, but I'm getting the yawns. I still get up too early, man. I went to bed at 10:40 and got up at 4:30. It's just not enough sleep for me. I need my beauty rest. Yo, beauty rest. Don't need this good-looking mug of mine to age prematurely. So do you think I'd get more followers if I talked in a more soothing, deep, dulcet tones that kind of go along more with the Barry White theme? Just kind of have that deep, masculine, husky voice. Just like you're ready to break out into a tune that just soothes the soul soothes the woman's soul. You know, sometimes when I'm waiting for stuff, I get loopy. And it's probably, look, it's like it's done. It's like, that wasn't even a long thing. What are you doing? Light her up, man. Light her up. I gotta get back on my I don't want to say diet, because it's not really a diet. I just gotta start paying better attention to what I'm snacking on, what I'm eating, as I stuff my face with popcorn. But I've been working my way towards the high end of my all-time weight. I've been weighing about 185, which my all-time high is 188. I've never hit 190, but... And I don't work out heavy weights enough to be constituting that kind of weight gain. You know, I really gotta change this screen, this image. Maybe I'll go play with that for a bit. I don't know. I like it, but it's just too dead. It needs to be more vibrant, more lively. It's not working. It's not working, man. Is it doing anything? So, are these buttons? So when I click on these guys, let's see. Oh, I didn't connect it. Never mind. My bad. Sorry, AI. It's my fault. I didn't see the part where I was supposed to plug it in. I'm a popcorn fanatic. Okay, fanatic. I like popcorn a lot. I don't know if I'm a fanatic. Is that a fanatic? But only plain popcorn. Oh. Not heavily buttered. Let's put it that way. I like going to AMC and I just get their popcorn. I don't butter it. But I like their popcorn and all. You know, get the refillable buckets. And then I come home with a full bucket, put it in a bag, and I snack on it until next time I go see a movie. And fill it, get another bucket. It takes me a week or two to go through a whole bag. Unless I make popcorn like this. You guys are probably like, he talks about the most random things. He's not a very focused developer, is he? Where's my music? My background noise. Look at my background noise turned on. Have you ever watched Primogen or The Prime Time? I mean, if you watch, I mean, I honestly, I don't know what draws people to my stream. I mean, a lot of the people who come by and chat with me have no interest in the game I'm developing. So it's hard to know is it the coding? I'm not a great teacher, so I don't really show people how to code. I don't have a lot of coding opinions, as you may have noticed. I mean, I do. I throw coding opinions out every now and then, but I'm not like some of these guys who that's their thing. That's their shtick, right? They rant about all the different things, and that's just what they do. They talk about code and the different people who code, and that's just their thing. I don't think I have a niche enough, other than I'm working on this game. But like I said, a lot of people who come by don't actually have an interest in the game. I mean, they may have a passing interest, and since it's not even running yet, so I'm always curious what it is that draws people. There we go. Hey, it's doing it now. Now let's see if this works. All right, so we'll go here. 1-1 pass short. Nice. That's not 1-1 though. That's 1-0. I don't know why it did 1-1. Now it's 1-2. Nice. It doesn't really need the dash, but I mean, it works. I could take the dash out. I mean, it's not a big deal. I think when you normally see offensive formations or plays that mention the personnel, like that we had 22 trips or something, that's the formation. It's usually 22. It's not 2-2. Now, when you see defensive formations mentioned, they usually do have dash, like 4-3, 3-5, 3-3-5, whatever. Those usually have dashes in them. But the difference is they're not the same definition. Okay, so like 22 personnel means 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. It doesn't say anything about formation positions. It just says you have them. They could be anywhere that they're legally allowed to line up. But those are the people who are in the play. So it's just the personnel definition. On defense, when you say 3-3 or 4-3 or 3-5, whatever, you are actually describing the formation. It's 3 guys up front, 4 guys in back. It's not saying linebackers, or it's not describing who the personnel are. I mean, you might be doing a 3-4. That's three linebackers in a corner. Still 3-4 if the positions are the same. So it's a different descriptor. So it's actually a different purpose. And when you find it in offense, it's usually without a space or dash. So you learned something today. You're like, great. Was I trying to learn something? See, I don't know why that defaults to 1. Why is that defaulting to 1? Let's go out of here for a minute. I'm gonna try something. Yep, they're doing the same thing on both sides. When I select tight end count as my first selection, the personnel displayed in the Playtype there's actually the personnel displayed in the Playtype selection. Because why is it getting set to 1? It's almost like it's using the index and not the actual value displayed. Because the index would be 1 in this case. But I do note that it displays the correct thing otherwise. I think what's happening is it's setting it before. And the number is probably doing a try parse to display it, and the try parse is reading the text any and getting a 0, because that's what'll come. It'll return a 0 if text doesn't have a number. Still sets the other down to index 1. Oh, is it possible that there's ever a 0, not a 0 available? Huh. Is zero not? Is it possible that we have a personnel where one of those is not available? Never actually occurred to me. I don't know why we would ever have that though, because these are play types, and play types can have every formation. I don't think there's ever going to be that, but whatever, dude. We'll see. I'll go try it. If it works, I'm not gonna knock his logic if the logic is correct. Plus, I think I'm gonna let's go here and make one more change to my UI. I think my space is a bit much. It's my this one. Nope, it's not that. This one. Don't worry about the padding, but there is something. Wow, but it's there. I'll do this one more. Actually, that might be the right one. How come I have two vertical layout groups? Oh. The label. And scroll view. Oh, okay. And then the viewport. The scroll view has its own. Nope. Okay, so this one. What can I do here? Are they being squished together? I guess I didn't even look. Let's see if they're actually being squished together. If they're compressing, it might not be so bad, I suppose. I do have to deal with this visuals. Now the question is, does my OK button work? I know the cancel button works. I've used it many times, but I haven't actually tried the set button. I wonder if I wonder what the new version of Sora would generate for me if I asked for this image again. This image, but without telling it what I want. I want to see, because Sora has been, it's doing things differently now. Let's take a break. Let's detour for a half second to go see what kind of images get generated with Sora now. Probably gonna be the same weird thing, but I thought I'd try it. Dude, it said it. One screen. We're getting close. We're getting close to things working, people. I gotta get rid of this ugly thing. Just because I want to. Fast, medium. We'll go 0 running backs. We'll do 1 tight end. 0, 1 pass, medium. Huh. Looking pretty cool. So if I say save new, will it actually save it? It saved it, except, and it's marked it as a deletable, yes, but it did not put the play type in correctly. But hey, we're getting there. It's starting to do its thing. So if I go here, that should disappear. It does. If I go back, put it back, yay! My game plan almost functions. All right, I gotta go see this thing. You know, sometimes I gotta detour. Let's go detour. I'm looking to see what the latest version of old Sora does. I gotta see. He's kind of cool. All right, so I got to figure out. This is old Sora, right? Okay, so yeah. I don't like the new one because the new one only does. It doesn't do images. It only does video. So it's useless to me. It's useless. It's dead to me. I don't want video. What the heck am I gonna do with video? Yeah, I mean Sora doesn't even do non-video anymore. And I don't have 8-second video clips that are kind of just don't. What the heck is 6 to fetcha? Okay, so I gotta go right here. Alright, so we're gonna go with this. Alright. I need You can't say NFL football because it'll put NFL all over the place. American football field. Should I say football stadium? American football stadium. Surrounded by various actually go with various surrounded by a variety of 4, 5 fantasy style buildings. Did I not do text? I didn't mean to do that. Alright, using energetic line work, bold colors, dynamic lighting, and distinct. I don't know if I need a distinct silhouette because that's not a thing. Dynamic lighting, stylized comic art style, bold outlines, and smooth digital shading. Needs to be in a 16 by 9. 60p. That's really small. Probably have to pay for these ones. Yeah, I can't even use those. I know, at some point I gotta start doling out the dough. So I can start paying for some of these images and maybe get some better quality images. See, images like these are like, what good are they? They're 8 seconds long. Some of them aren't even that long. They're 3 to 4 seconds long. So you watch this video, it looks like she's just swinging her arms around. They don't look like that she's doing anything. Critique all the images while I'm I just don't understand what's the usability of all these videos. There's no purpose in them. This is kind of cool though. That's actually kind of cool that it was able to pull that together. Huh. Wait, did I miss it? Did it finish? Yeah. Boo. Boo. See, it is brighter. Oh, it does them like, it's doing them like video. See, it did video, even though okay, so those are kind of cool, but they don't, I mean, they're all over the place. It's like I'm only seeing like the tops of buildings and stuff. What the heck? The coloring isn't bad because it fits the theme, but they're weird. Why are those aren't even football? What about that looks like football? And who told you to give me video? I just wanted an image. Did I say video? Oh, I did say video. Oh. That's totally not what I asked for. Alright, so okay, so let's go change my prompt. Go in here and click. That was not, I didn't even know regular Sora did that. No, I want an image in Noodle Nose. Choose upload from device. I did kind of do this once. Oh, that's a screenshot. Oh, screenshot. Where's my? So I kind of tried to do this one. It just didn't. It came out weird. I mean, it's okay, but it's too cartoony. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would fit this guy's world. That's what I'm going for. Something that would fit this guy's world. I need an image of a fantasy style American football stadium surrounded by a variety of 4 to 5 fantasy style buildings. Include this image. It is a reference look right, look good, not look out of place in the scene. If you were again, do not put in the scene. Only the fantasy I don't know it's gonna be this video is kind of like, again, I don't know why that thinks it's football. I said football stadium. It's showing me all kinds of stuff. It looks like a Middle Eastern little. It's interesting to say the least, but actually just kind of mentally distracting. These are I had a Super Bowl party for the game yesterday, and I had AI generate some images, and they all have problems. Like, I thought we were past the days of videos that don't know how to spell. Super ol. What the heck is that? They put the word bowl up here. Over here we got super bool woo wool. Ultimately, I went with this one because it seemed the best. I don't know, this one wasn't bad either, I guess, but I guess I didn't want the word party in it, but I guess it could have. I guess I went with that one has party in it. I don't know what I'm thinking, but these two are the best. These ones don't know how to spell. I thought they were done. I thought they had fixed all the I can't spell problems of image creations. See, what is it with everything having to be purple? Oh, because it matches. Oh. Actually, that doesn't look bad. That's actually a decent field. I just wish it was brighter, like a daytime scene. Good grief, that's like a hellscape. You know, that would actually be cool as an option page, like for like that cities, for the V-Born Scorned stadium scene. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like that, but the buildings aren't clickable enough. But that is kind of slick. I think I'll let down. I mean, it's obviously no real team on there, but it still looks cool. It's not a bad rendition of the stadium. It does kind of sort of fit this guy's color scheme. I didn't really want to give it the color scheme. I wanted the design scheme. But I'll keep it. I don't think it's the one I'm going to use, but it's cool. Let's try, let's edit again. Let's see, let's try another approach. Choose from library. I'm gonna try a different approach. Let's upload. Upload this one. Oh, no, that's actually not the one I want. We'll upload this one. Yeah, okay, we'll upload that one. And got this. I need this image. Stylized. include this image. Give it. I don't even know what to call it. What else do I want in there? Let's see what it does now. I actually like this image. I think it's cool. I just wish I knew what to do with it. It's not my work. It's not good enough to be a working image, but it is kind of a slick image. Stadium's not very usable. Again, I kind of want to just build my sceneries, but they're expensive, time-wise, and people-wise. If I decide I don't want to do it myself, I want to try to get somebody who knows what they're doing to do it. Why does everything have to be orange? It's actually a pretty good job. But again, it does fit the thematics better. What if I go remix on this? I'm gonna download. Which one do I like better? I don't know. I think I like this one. I like keeping the better ones. But I'm gonna see if I can edit the remix. Oops, cancel. Edit, remix. Oh, yeah, remix. It put people in. I didn't know there were people in there. Those look like two of the three wise men. And my goalposts are not in the correct place. What the heck? What is the deal with those goalposts? And that one don't even have goalposts. It's just like the bottom part of the post. How many have I done? About 4? I think I only get 6. I would have to edit the image, fix the goalposts. It's actually a better stadium though. Stadium's not as warped. And at least since it doesn't know how to do numbers, it didn't bother to try. Oh my gosh, I think that might be what I want. That might actually be what I want. Oh wow. That might actually be what I want. Wow, that's actually really pretty good. I'll be garly darned. I like that one. Which one do I like better? The lights on or the lights off? Oh wow, this is actually pretty good. They even put people in the stadium that looks kind of like people in the stadium. Huh, I'll keep them both. I don't know which one I like better yet. Let's stick one in. I'm gonna do it. I'm sticking one in. It's just livelier. I like the livelierness about it. Is that a word? Livelierness? So I got lights on and lights off. Got blue, and I got yellow. Got blue and yellow. I don't know which one I like better. I think the blue one might be better. Oh, I gotta stick the blue one in. That's just, yeah. In the mountains, it just looks cooler. Just better. Oh, yeah, I gotta stick that in. So that means going to here and then going stopping this. We're getting close to my game plan working pretty good though, which is nice. We'll go to common. Oh wait, what's the wrong thing? Common, here we go. And then we'll bring in this guy. I may have to pay and get it upscaled if it's like fuzzy or something. What the heck? I thought I just tried. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was gonna say that was 10. All right. Dang it. What the heck? Not gonna let me rename it? Stop. Rename. Alright, well, let's see if I have to do it. Let's do this first. Sprite 2D UI single liner type. Now can I rename it? Stylized. Alright, so we're gonna go back up here to the home screen panel. I think I need these guys to be solidified. Don't think the see-through is going to be good with this yellow, which is fine. I don't need it to be. Means I need to go to the prefab. I'm going to go over to the animated scroll. Go mostly not transparent. I don't want things to, I don't want the whole full color to come through, but I'm going to see what it looks like if I just let some of the color. Enough that it should blot out the color. Alright, let's see what it looks like in big screen. Oh yeah, it just looks better. Doesn't it just feel more energetic? Everything feels more in line now. I gotta fix this. I gotta get this white piece cut off of the image here though. I didn't trim that one close enough. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. It just feels better. Feels in theme with my design, more energy. Still want to figure out if there's a way to get my stadium, just stick my actual stadium in the middle of the screen. My goalpost in the middle of the screen. This one isn't even a goalpost anymore. Look, it turned into like a little, I don't know what that is, a little scoreboard or something. I don't know what that is. Oh, this just looks so much better though. All right, so I got to fix my my bar here a little bit. It's a little too dark, but I think that's okay. Oh, man, I'm just liking it. My eyes aren't like sad looking at it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these two weirdos in the corner though. I think I'm gonna have to do a little photoshopping and get them off the screen. They look a little tall for the city too, don't they? I mean, they might be okay going in here, but they're gonna bump their head on most of these doors. Especially this one. This one's gonna be like, they got to crawl into that door. These guys are really, really giant. They're like giants in the area. All right, so I did try to save. It didn't save because I didn't like my. I saved that user one. I did. It did not create it. It's also incorrectly loading, and so basically anything that's attempting to save stuff back to the database is not working. So the question is that an effect of the front end or the back end doing something wrong? What time is it? That says 5, right? 1741 is 5:41. At 5:41, huh? Actually, this is like, is that just doing that all the time? What is that? Oh, that's doing that all the time. So I'm getting a playbook problem here. $21.10. So it's basically whenever I load this playbook, because it just happened. I haven't even opened the other stuff yet. So that might be when it tries to save. Unsupported timestamp type. Let's see. Let's close this. Go back. 2110. All right, so we're here. All right, stop it. Driving me bonkers. Blocking my view, man. I can't see what's going on. Get out of the way so I can see, man. Still 2110. Alright, so I'll click on here. Nope. So the issue isn't that. The issue appears Should be only when I load gameplay. I think it's happening when I do the playbook. Let's stop this. I should probably just copy this thing. I really like the way this looks now. That just made a huge day of difference to me, which I'm not sure is the statement I'm looking for, but that's the one I used. That's the one I'm going with, and I'm sticking to it. A huge bit of difference, man. Can't be any better than just being cool. Alright, so I gotta close. Playtype selector should not be open. And that should not be on right. Somebody, you can easily look at this and know it's AI. I mean, it isn't terrible if not for the terrible goalposts. That's a pretty terrible thing. But overall, it's not the worst. I really want to just make a real 3D scene where I actually put in assets and stuff, but I'm just not. It just takes so long, and I'm like, I want to do it, but I'd rather just work on getting it working first. But now my band doesn't look purple anymore, which is good. Okay, so we're at 20. Oh, that actually did that when I started up the app. What did it do? Why is Playbook getting called when I start the app? Oh, that's Playbook. It's not even game plan. What the heck? Why is... Oh, that must be when I'm calling the... happening at startup. Is there like something viewable? Is there like, there's no errors. I don't actually know what that problem is.
12 Temporary says, my man, isn't it crazy that like 90% of big apps are made by Jews XD?
You think? What does that say? Does that say, is he saying they have a more focused
Temporary
work?
says, my man, I just checked it.
Is that like is that a statement in their work ethic versus that of those that aren't? I mean, is that just coincidence? I mean, first of all, what is a big app, right? I mean,
12 Temporary says, Discord, Google, YouTube, Reddit, Stripe, Firefox, DuckDuckGo. 12 Temporary says, almost everything.
but if you think about it, they may be it's possible they're the owner of those companies.
12 Temporary says, it's insane.
Yeah. I don't know. They may be the owner of those companies, but they didn't make those apps.
12 Temporary says, not the owners, the founders.
Yeah, is it coincidence though? I mean, is there a founding in that? There are a lot of Jews in the world. Maybe. I don't know.
12 Temporary says, I don't know.
I think it's coincidence. But I mean, stereotypically speaking, which I don't know if you could put much stock in stereotypes, and some are more accurate than others, but stereotypically,
12 Temporary says, they are 0.05% of the global population.
yeah, but like I said, stereotypically they are known for their business prowess, right? So it's possible. You know, business owners and lawyers seems to be the thing that they're known for stereotypically. Now, is that factual in any way? I don't know, but that kind of thing sort of leans it. But if you think about it,
Temporary says, man, and even all the ace. 12 Temporary says, all the
yeah,
ace.
watch out on the
12
on
Temporary says, I mean all the ace.
I don't know what AIS is, but if it's AIs. When you put them all in the same case, I don't know what that is. But
12 Temporary says,
yeah, OpenAI, Claude. Yeah, you're talking about AIs.
Complexity.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I mean, I'm not arguing with you. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I guess, but again, those are like some of the more well-known ones. But there are thousands and thousands of companies out there. Is that normal on the grand scale, or is it just happen to be those well-known companies? Things tend to stand out more when you're talking about what could be a very small sample set.
12 Temporary says, for sure, but these are the ones we use the most.
Yeah, that's true. They're very common, very heavily used. Heavenly used. Maybe that's why they're the Jews. Okay, so I just noticed this is populating even when I'm not doing anything. Look at that. It just logged a bunch more. It's like every... Oh, I see what's happening. Every 5 minutes I have an auto check.
Facebook, X.com were not made by Jews.
Instagram, Facebook, X. Yeah, well, what about Microsoft? Microsoft was... Bill Gates isn't a Jew. And neither was his co-founder. What about Oracle? I mean, there's a lot of big companies, and IBM was definitely not. So, I mean, you could probably find a lot of situations where it wasn't. It's just, there are some well-known companies for sure. Alright, so I think I found where this error is coming from. Alright, so is that happening in other places? What is this one doing? That one's got some messages in it too. Oh, that's normal. Normal stuff. Normal stuff. These guys aren't complaining about nothing. Okay, so it's only Playbook that's doing it. Oh, it thinks X.com. It thinks X.com is a link. Sorry about that, 12. I don't know why it does that. It apparently doesn't know you're just pointing out X or Twitter. A lot of people still call it Twitter. It's starting to stick a little bit with X, but yeah, don't worry about it. Just, I don't know what it means by one link per person. Does that mean like if you come back, if you leave and come back, are you still the one person, or is it saving your name and it's gonna hunt you down the next time you do it? I don't know. I don't know how Nightbot does this stuff. I have it on there to prevent people from putting too many links up. I actually got a what do you call it? A malware link last week? Yeah, some guy came on and gave me a link, a malware link.
12 temporary says, crazy bot XD.
Yeah, well, I don't think Nightbot is just using text checks, right? It's not even AI, so it's not even trying to validate anything. It just says, you put .com on there, it's a link. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even care what it really is, what you're trying to say. But I guess if you can click on it, because you can click on x.com, it does become a link, right? So I guess it is valid. All right, so let's close this and see if I can kill that problem. Still have a few issues, obviously. Like, hey, my images are showing up again. Yay! I don't know what I did to turn them back on, but they work now. The ones that I actually have. These are default images. Well, not all of them are. Some of them are actually Titan Reapers, but others are just defaults. I just use the Titan Reapers as a default image. I gotta change the layout on this. I don't like the way it's laying out. But how about my plays? Are they loading? No. They're not even showing up. Boo.
12 temporary says, man, even Android.
Well, Android is
temporary
Google.
says, was made by a Jew XD.
Well, Android is Google. I mean, they created. It's their operating system. Did they? I thought they created it.
Says, Google book height Android afterwards.
Did they buy it? I thought that was their creation. Huh.
"12 temporary says, yes.
Huh.
12 temporary says, I'm 2005. 12 temporary says, in asterisk.
Yeah. I wonder if I should just use the buttons instead of having this background screen. I wonder what happens if I do that. What does it look like if I just turn the background screen off on my playset? Let's see what this does. So if I just do this. And I mean, I guess they're pretty viewable. They probably need to fade them out somehow. What if I just went with an empty sprite here? And just to put a little fog up behind it, and then do this. Honestly, I think I like that better than the other image. I liked the other image, but it was the wrong feel. I may have to look into trying to update it or change it somehow, but for now, this might work. I got to get my pop-ups to start working again. And I got to update these two because they're the wrong style.
Temporary says, what's the best AI in your opinion?
You know, I've come to the conclusion that it depends on what you're doing. Claude is still the best at coding. It's just does better. It seems to understand things better. It's just better coder, but it is not the best at everything. You know what's been impressing me lately, which is some version of ChatGPT, I think. But it's Microsoft's Copilot. It conversationally, not just the way it converses with you, but its understanding of concepts like football, for example. I've had multiple discussions with how plays are designed, and I've worked with it on actually coming up with ideas on how to replicate and create new plays in my, because I created the way my plays are designed in this game is it uses a grid system and these action steps. All right, so in creating a play, it's actually pretty complicated, right? So I have to go through and I load a formation, and then I set the route for each player. And I say, okay, do this, and then I give it the actions I need it to do, and I go through it. And it can take some time. And then you have to look up a play. You have to find plays, because I don't know every play there is. I can be creative and make up a few, but that takes time. And I want to have several hundred plays in the game. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I've tried to do it with Claude, and Claude's like a head-down programmer who doesn't understand the world outside of code. Yeah, it can talk, it has a little bit of an opinion about stuff, but generally it just doesn't seem to be as good at interpreting outside information and bringing it in and understanding and coming up with a solution to work with your problem. Whereas Microsoft's Copilot, and GitHub Copilot's the same way. I mean, they're coding engines, and they just seem to be, they don't do as well in that. It's like they have LLMs that are trimmed to focus on just coding, whereas the Microsoft Copilot, which is oddly, like I said, you can see here I have like a bunch of I have tons of discussions with Microsoft's Copilot on a regular basis, and some of the best ones I had are about football and how to get things working. And it gave me some great solutions or answers or ideas on how to pursue things and help me get the ball rolling. But I can't use it as a coding engine. I mean, it'll write code. It doesn't necessarily write great code, but it can. One of the things I was able to do is, for example, I explained how to both. I did this with Claude and Gemini and a couple of others, and then I did it with Microsoft Copilot. And I went in and I gave it what amounted to one of my plays. So if I go to plays here. So this is what a play looks like in the game, right? So it's a long JSON, and it goes through and it describes the position and all the moves that they can do, where they start. So I explained to it what the first thing is going to be. It's going to be a lineup position. It's where they show up on the formation. This is a move action. This is them actually going forward or doing whatever they have to do. This is generally them moving in a different direction. So it's another grid coordinate. But then there's other actions that they can do, like juke or sit or go, or they do some specific action depending on what they are. This is a running back, so he's probably running some kind of a route or getting it might even be receiving the exchange. But either way, they have these various options and actions. So I gave those to Microsoft's Copilot, and I did it with all of them. And a lot of them just couldn't get it. They kept messing up the plays, and they always looked like a mess. I gave the same code, and I had to copy and paste it because it was too big, but I gave it the same stuff. It described the same information. It wrote me a bunch of plays, and they put them in, and they all worked. They all came out like I needed them to. And so I just said, create me a bunch. Create me 6 offense and 6 defense. I can only do it in handfuls because it can only do so much at once. But I put them in, and then I had to go through to my play editor and load them back up, and then I can click save, and it'll generate an image. So it creates the image for the plays, and then the images for the plays based on their routes. So if I go to my playbook here, and go here, and so it generates these plays, so I can see them in my play editor that I created. It takes the routes and what their defined movements are, and it generates a play image, so that I can put it in the play, or put it in the playbook and in the game. So yeah, so it just depends on what you're doing. I find that ChatGPT in general, which is what Microsoft Copilot is based on. I think it's some mix of Microsoft stuff and ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is a better research tool. I think that's what it comes down to. My experience has had that it's better for learning stuff, finding out details. Just, it's good. I haven't used Gemini enough, but I haven't found anything that I felt Gemini stood out in. Does that say for sure that it doesn't? It does not say that. It just says that's my experience. I haven't tried it. And I haven't really used anything like Grok or anything. It's really Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude are the only ones I've tried. And it does make a difference as to what version. You know, if you're using Sonnet or you're using Opus, Opus is really good, but Opus is, you know, when I try to use Opus in GitHub Copilot, it costs me 3 times as many tokens, so I don't use it very often. But what's nice is I also have Claude, and Claude doesn't charge you any difference for it, but you only get, you know, whatever you get for $5. So, but it uses Opus automatically, so I get to use Opus and Claude, and it is better. Opus is definitely better than Sonnet. So you gotta use your better, and if you're doing thinking, sometimes that's better. Thinking can get kind of off the charts. I mean, it's almost like it knows too much and it confuses itself. It starts giving you just too much garbage. So I was like, depends on what it is. You got to give it distinct details when you want it to use thinking, so that it can know how to filter itself. So there you go. There's my AI opinions. Which one's better? It depends on what you're doing. I use Bezier actually for my UI coding on Unity, but it uses Claude from my understanding. It's a wrapper around Claude, and it just uses it and builds it into your application. So that didn't fix it, whatever you did. Trying to figure out, I think there's a, see if I can find out exactly where that's happening. Oops, what did I do? Oop. It's already 9:40. I can't believe I've been at this since almost 3 hours. Geez, just tonight. I don't usually stream 3 hours. Recently, I've been trying to keep my streams shorter just so that they're more bite-sized, chunky. But you know, sometimes I just get going and I start talking to people. Before I know it, 3 hours has passed. So I got the image going. Let's see, what's the next thing I need to start working on? I need this to save. That's the next thing. It's not saving correctly. Alright, so that's what I need to start working on. I haven't updated my currently used images. All those images in the upper corner of my stream that you see cycling are images in the game, but they're not. They're actually, a lot of them I've updated and changed. About half of them are actually in the game right now. And some of the ones I've added aren't in it anymore, so yeah, I've got to update those or clean it out, put the right images in there. So because the whole idea is that image is kind of an idea of what the game has. Alright. Well, I'll fix that error, and then I gotta get my save done. Once my editor starts saving, and then I gotta get the play types aren't displaying in the line that called. But we're getting closer. Selected play type. Now here's a question. Do I need I'm trying to decide how I need to store this back. I think that's what's going to have to be stored back in the play type. I may have to parse it out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna handle that separately. I think those need to be separate calls. So I put Claude to work. Okay, so there's a pretty cool thing I've been starting to use a lot more, which does make it way smarter. You give it something complicated like this. Let's say you're saying there's like 3 problems. You got, you know, they're all related to the playbook, but like one of them is the Playtype isn't getting saved back to the situation. The situations that I created, like when I go here and edit one, pops this up. When I go to edit here, and I say save as new, it adds it to the page, but it doesn't actually save it to the database. So in other words, when I reload, it's not there. It's just not present. And then the same goes for when I click on, when I'm running with any of these defaults. If I hit the delete on any of these and I start whacking these lines, which eventually I'm going to get rid of several of them because they're just test. These should be gone, but they are not. They're gone. They're gone for now. But when I stop the app and come back and reload, they're all there again. So I gave it all these tasks that the default's not saving, the new situation's not saving, and the Playtype isn't getting ported into the new situation. So I told it, you know, where it makes sense, use a different situation or use separate agents. So it's researching these things. You can see it has these different calls. These are 3 agents looking at each issue. They're all looking to see why each item is failing. And hopefully they'll be able to fix it. But it has to be smart about it because some of those agents, like the saving problem, might be one problem. It's just not getting through to the back end. So I don't know what it's going to do in that case. The Playtype thing, I think, is something that's a front-end problem. It's just not copying it to the UI. So we're going to have to see what it does. I'm not sure. But I was able to verify that when I go to my game plans here, that nothing I have saved. So I go to game plans here. I do have a user game plan, but there's no values. These are just the ones that were there before, and they're kind of broken. I mean, I'm not even sure which one belongs to the user at this point. This one's from 129. These are all from 129. These are all created back in January. I don't know that any of those are even valid. I could probably delete them and just have it recreate it. But this is the default. I'm going to change these from team to AI game plans. So the AI game plans I'm creating are meant to be, well, I'm going to implement a form of AI. It's not like LLM or anything like that, but I'm going to give it logic to start building out its own game plans. But I'm trying to think how I want to implement that. If I want it to come in as a form of just a coach, or if I want it to actually be its own, to be an actual player. So I don't know. I'm getting some weird messages on my stream here. Weird. But so I was gonna, the idea with the team one was that every team would have its own like game plan that just comes as part of the team. But what I'm actually thinking is I might get rid of the team game plan and just have coaches, and every player gets a coach. The coach comes with its own game plan, and then so every AI team will have a coach, and it'll just use the coach's game plans. But I'm tempted to try to create these coaches to be, have their AI change and edit itself constantly. Like it's always just, so instead of randomly giving every team an AI, a team 01 random game plan playbook thing, I would give the coach his own random team AI coaching plan or whatever. And the users individually can supplement with their own game plan, which will take an effect, and they kind of blend with the coach. But all the AI teams just use the coach. So you're basically going up against all the coaches that you could actually end up with if you hire one or get rid of it. They're just like a different AI for every team. And then I want to start building in like some kind of logic into each individual coach, give them something that they focus on. Every one will do certain things. Like I want to have like some that lean towards calling more passes, and some that lean towards doing more, runs, or they maybe they're more defense oriented and they tend to try to build up this, that, or the other thing on defense, or maybe they enhance players and teams at certain positions more than others. So I want these coaches to have an effect on the game, actual effect on the game, where they are actually running the other teams in some ways. They're actually coaching those teams. That's my idea for it. So I'm thinking I might stay away from creating team game plans and just have coach game plans. And then whenever you hire a coach, they bring in their game plan, and then it gets supplemented by your game plan. And some coaches will be, they'll have more generic, less useful game plans. But I want to try to start seeing if over time develop those coaches. That's my goal, to develop them, give them more AI logic, more stuff. Early on, they'll probably just be fixed game plans. They just do their thing, but I want to give them things that they can, so there'd be some kind of code in there that lets them respond to certain situations in a game or in the game plan or in their practices. Maybe different coaches will do different things. I don't know, just to kind of give them that feel of an actual coach. When you hire these guys, they're doing stuff on your team. And it's not fixed. It's dynamic. It can change for everyone. I think that'll be kind of a fun aspect and very unique to what I think a lot of these games do. Because I think most games, I think most games just put coaches in that have fixed values, fixed things. They do what they do and that's it. That's just their thing. They give you point something extra this, or they do a little more of that. But there's no dynamicness. They're not changing or adjusting to anything that's going on. They're wallpaper. They're tweaking your stuff. The only advantage to having a team game plan or playbook would give a kind of an alt option that the users wouldn't have. It would only be there for the AI teams. It's kind of like having their own user game plan, and it would be there for the AI teams. That's my goal. And anyway, so we'll see how that goes. So I had like 3 different AI things going. I want to see if any of them fit. So 9:47 was the last time this happened. So did it fix it? Let's stop this. Oh, it's because I haven't ran it. And then we'll start it back up. Let's go see what AI did over here. Oh, I decided not to use this one, so we'll clear this. Do Claude. Oh, you're still working. Let's see what Claude came up with. On save situation always saves to user personnel game plan regardless of game plan type parameter. No routing logic exists. Default team edits not saved to the database. One situation database root cause Unity client sends a put request, but the gateway has no put handler registered. Only get and post routes exist. The request fails. Oh, really? Playtype not showing in newly created situation. Root cause doesn't save playtype. Playtype ID 2 displays unit type instead of actual playtype. All right, let's see what it does. It looks like that. I mean, it seems to know what the solution is. So let's see what it does. All right, guys, that's it for me. I got to hit the hay. Get up and do it again tomorrow. With any luck, I'll be able to start working on the play selections. And then I can, once I get, I might not even have to do play selections. I think I just don't want to leave things hanging. I just want to get the game plan working. So if I can get the play selections working, favored play selections, then I'm able to just say, all right, I've got a game plan. I can build a game plan. If all my user and default stuff is working, I can then go work on a simulation. Start reading that data and executing the simulation. And then I don't have to worry about these team ones, because if I just do coach, I mean, it's still creating new game plans with one for each coach, but I got to I'll create coach cards and then assign them to their coach cards. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do coaches. I haven't decided. I might just find all the coaches in the, find a bunch of actual NFL coaches tweak their names like I did everybody else. And the thing is, they're not based on any kind of real life stats, right? I'd have to like research all these coaches and go, all right, well, this guy does passing, and this guy does defense, and this guy does blah, and he's known for blah. And it'd be cool to be able to do that, but ultimately, I think I'm just going to create just random coaching AIs for everybody. What I'll probably do is maybe track down their years in the league. And that might affect some of the things they can do. The more experienced they are, the more I might give them more stuff with that logic. So, I don't know, something like that. We'll see what I can come up with. I don't know. I got to decide how I can get that stuff. A lot of it's either going to have to be manual, which is going to suck, which means I won't do as many of them at once. I'll do them one at a time. Or I'm going to have to do something along the lines of some sort of internet scrape from somewhere. Again, don't know exactly how and where and what I can get that from, and if that's possible. Other things I need to do soon. I need to actually create all of my player data downloads. I have it all for one season, 2009, but a lot of it was pulled from a spreadsheet that I imported years ago. And it's from StatsInc, which does all that stuff still. But now I'm thinking I want to pull it all from the public, Python library. Because the StatsInc stuff is not as, I don't know if if there's even an API for me to get to that. So we'll see. I got to figure out how to get all this data that I need to build all my formulas. And so that's going to be a thing. Once I can do it for 1 year, I can do all the rest of the years. But I have to get all the same data points because my entire game is built off the data points I created before. So I just need to get the same data points. So this way I could pull down new data all the time. If I use the Python library, it updates regularly, which means I can start doing cool things that I have plans for in the future, such as seasons that are live seasons that are built off of actual current current running seasons, like having an NFL season where you get to coach a team using your own game plan and stuff, but yet you're getting the stats of actual players to run your team with. That's what I want to do, as this like special event type leagues that run throughout the NFL season, which would be next year. But it won't be next year. It'll probably be the year after before I can actually get that running. Because I'll get, by the time next year comes around, I'll be just getting this game ready to go, and I won't have those special features in place yet. So, but hey, one thing at a time. Till next time, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, saying hi, and hope I'll see you around again in the future.